Good afternoon. This is Rich Nelson with Allendale. We're coming to wrap up commodity comments. Today is Thursday. This is, of course, December 15th of 2011 here. Obviously, as Steve mentioned this morning, quite a few outside market issues. Obviously, the U.S. government back and forth talk as far as whether or not this payroll tax extension or payroll tax cut will be extended. It's certainly a big issue right now. So concerns over the U.S. government still with us. These concerns over the EU situation still with us. We will make one small point, though. The weekly jobless claims was pretty good this morning, only 366,000. That was the lowest single-week number since March of 2008. So pretty exciting number as far as that specific point there. But overall, no change in the overall mentality here today. The U.S. dollar was down about 32 points. That's off of yesterday's big day. Crude oil down about $1.06 right now. So overall, not a big change in outside market psychology here for today. So that left us trading some issues on the grain side here. For corn, the news actually was a little negative here today. This morning's weekly corn sales numbers here, as far as old crop, you're looking at just over 500,000 tons. Based on Allendale's numbers, we should be around 700,000 tons in order to be close to USDA's goal. So we're not still at the pace we need yet for corn sales. Another negative factor for today, one Chinese analyst suggested it probably won't be until second half of 2012 before China thinks about buying U.S. corn again. So that certainly was a little negative, and that was the reason why corn has some trouble today. Down 2.25 cents. Not a big deal as far as that goes by itself, but what it meant as far as prices was important. This was a new low for the downtrend for corn, and also a new lowest close for the current downtrend in corn. So that's a little negative on this side. For soybeans, up 13.5 cents. We can point out that South American weather is now maybe getting a little more credence according to the trade, and that probably will increase into next week as well as we get closer to when this potential yield damage could hit. Keep in mind for South America, late December through first half of January is corn pollination. So actually what's going on right now is really more of a corn pollination problem or potential problem, not necessarily a bean problem. Beans really don't get into the yield setting time until the second half of January going through February. So bottom line, though, is the trade's putting a little more credence into these ideas of dryness in South America, and that probably will continue into next week here. For wheat, down 2.25 cents. Not a big deal, but just like corn, this also was important in saying this was a new low close, and also new lows, of course, here for this downtrend we're currently in right now. One small thing for wheat. One analysis group out of France, they indicated that they look for a 3% increase for EU wheat production for next year. And for livestock, up 37 cents there for cattle. Most people were a little surprised that the cattle managed some strength here today. We do have some negative issues in front of us. Number one being cash cattle. We probably will trade down to 118 this week. That'd be off $2. So that's still a little negative here. Another point of questions or concerns, we have cattle on feed out on Friday, and we'll be watching closely what that placement number is. But we did have higher trade on cattle today, probably related to this storm here. Keep in mind, back on December 3rd, that Saturday, the first Saturday of this month, we had those snows going on in western Kansas and eastern Colorado. They really came in kind of lighter than expected, maybe anywhere from maybe 2 to 6 inches here. Keep in mind that the snow is lined up for this time, for next Monday and Tuesday, for those same areas. They're talking 4 to 8 inches of snow. So it is something we're going to look at, and Allendale probably is not going to panic at all based on these snows, but it is a reason to add a small amount of premium to this market. For hogs, we did have a little tougher day. February down 90 cents on the pit trade. This was a new low for its current downtrend for hogs. While we do have some strength showing up in cash pork, 7 of the past 10 days, we will point out that 8 of the past 10 days have seen trouble for cash hogs. So we do have 2 weeks of slaughter disruptions right in front of us. So next week's kill is going to be down to the holiday. The week after is going to be down to the New Year's as well. So lower kill levels means fewer hogs being bought, and that's bearish for cash hogs. That's a little supportive for cash pork because it means lower pork output. So those are some issues we're looking at right now, which we'll still be dealing with for the next 2 weeks on the livestock side. But overall, kind of a quieter day. It was good to see things kind of quieting down, certainly in front of, and compared to yesterday's crazy action here. Our biggest thing we're looking at right now here today, of course, is making these calls about this conference, guys. We, as I mentioned yesterday afternoon, we've got such a great deal, $279 to get Allendale's, to get your seat for Allendale's conference, and that also gives you 6 months of free research. Quite a great deal, and as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to say it again here. For what you're going to see at this conference is certainly a top-tier conference to speak of, and most of these top-tier conferences, not just from individual brokerage firms, but from major organizations, these run $599 per seat on up to over $1,000, and we're even talking of $279 plus 6 months of Allendale's top-notch research. So keep that in mind. Great deal. Get lined up. Get all this stuff taken care of because we want to make sure you have a seat available for you here, so you don't have to worry about availability here if you wait until next month. So you can get your ticket lined up 1-800-262-7538. Or you can check us out on the web, and that's allendale-inc.com. This is Rich Nelson. Have a good trading day and a good trading week.